Sahayata Pratishthan's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Onde. I again welcome all the participants and dignitary members. We are moving ahead with the national anthem.
नमस्कार. कला वाणिज्य विज्ञान महाविद्यालय ओंदे तालुका विक्रमगड जिल्हा पालघर या महाविद्यालयातर्फे होणाऱ्या वेबिनारला माझ्या अध्यक्ष म्हणून हार्दिक शुभेच्छा आहेत. हे वेबिनार यशस्वी करण्यासाठी आपल्या सगळ्यांची सहकार्य असावं अशी अपेक्षा आहे. धन्यवाद.
Due to technical problem, sir can't join, but they send a recording to us. Thank you, sir.
On behalf of the SCS College Onde, I welcome our guest speaker. It is a golden opportunity for us, and so I request participants to concentrate on the presentation and take maximum advantage of the valuable time of our guests. Thank you.
Now I request Professor Nahire sir to introduce today's guest speaker. Nahire sir, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Mahale sir. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Assistant Professor Dinesh Jagannath Nahire, Head Department of Geography, Arts, Commerce and Science College, Onde, Vikramgad, District, Palghar. I am very much thankful to Honorable Vijay Patil Saheb, President of our college, and Principal Dr. H.M. Pednekar sir for organizing this national level webinar on an introduction to online teaching, as well as for giving me an opportunity to introduce today's resource person, Mrs. Donna Maria Barroto Madam. She is the head of English Department, St. Joseph's Convent School, Bandra, Mumbai. Madam has 27 years of the vast experience of teaching English. She also likes to teach geography and environmental science, being a nature-loving person. Even at this stage and this age, she is doing post-graduation in one another subject, geography, from University of Mumbai Geography Department. She has an all-rounder personality. Apart from teaching, she actively participates in extracurricular activities. She has been part of the organizing committees like the Republic Day Parade held at Bandra. She also performs naval band at St. Joseph's Convent. Being a patriotic person, she had arranged trip to Jammu Army Camp at Jammu and Kashmir. She arranged Armed Forces exhibition at St. Joseph Convent. She organized various workshops and orientation programs for students and teachers. She is always eager to update with the latest technology and impart knowledge. Her son Brendan became a doctor at the age of 23, when most of us are busy in deciding next steps in our lives. He is a very good and professional dancer and now also giving dance training to the students. He is a successful and commercial model too. He took part in many dancing and model competitions and won the medals. Brandon gives his all credits to his all-rounder mother. There is a lot to say about the Donna madam, but due to the limitation of the time, I conclude here. And I sincerely thanks Donna madam for giving her valuable time for us. Now I request to Professor Namdev Mahale, Chairman of the Science Association, technical head of this program, host of this meeting, for the further proceeding. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Ned.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, all
Ned,
of
sir.
you.
I request Donna ma'am to start her technical session. Donna. Donna ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, sir. Okay, good morning to all of you, and I'm very happy to be here with you. I think this is a golden opportunity to help other teachers, and so I don't want to speak much. I think we'll go ahead with our work, okay, because our purpose here is getting to understand how we can help our children through online education. So that is exactly what we are going to do. I will share my screen so that you can see, and we will go ahead with our work. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to learn a number of things. But the first thing that we are going to do is learning how to schedule Zoom meetings. I think most important is learning how to schedule it, because you have time constraint. You also have various apps that can be used on Zoom. So I will show you how we can make use of various apps on Zoom. So the first thing is, you have these 4 options given to you. You can either click directly and get on to a new meeting. You can join a meeting as you've done today, but this, if you're doing it on the laptop, you have to do it through your meeting ID and password. You can schedule a meeting as per your convenience when you want to have a meeting with your students, and you can also share your screen. When you are scheduling a meeting, you can give a topic. The first thing, when you click on schedule meeting, the first thing you will get is you put in your topic. What is the name of your meeting? So you can put your own name, your college name, or whatever you want. Which day do you want to have it on? It's not necessary that you have it today. You can schedule a meeting for, after 2 days, or maybe after 3 days, or whatever, and the time when you want to schedule the meeting. Now, if it is an unpaid version, they will say 30 minutes. Maximum time they will give you is 40 minutes. You can click on recurring meeting. So what happens once this meeting ends, you can ask the children to join in again, and it becomes a recurring meeting. You don't have to type and set a new meeting again. So that is the benefit of a recurring meeting. You create your ID. You can generate it automatically, or you can have a personal ID. You can create your own password. They give you a password, but you can type your own password. So you can change your password every day. Okay, so passwords can be changed every day. Now, video can be either only host, or you can keep the video on. You can put the participants off or on video mode. There are advanced options. Please make use of the advanced option, because if you do not click on which one you want, sometimes this option of enable join before host, children will be able, or others can join in before you join in into your meeting. So you have to say enable waiting room, so that all those who want to join the meeting will be there in the waiting room. You can mute your participants, because sometimes there's a lot of disturbance. So if you have a big number, it is better to mute participants. And whenever you want them to talk, you can ask them to unmute themselves. Okay, so once this is done, you go to the next setting, where this is the next thing that will be available to you. And then you say schedule. Okay, you click on Google Calendar and you say schedule. Once you have scheduled your meeting, this is what it will look like. Okay, it will say your meeting, your personal meeting ID will be given here. You will get your meeting ID, which will also be seen over here. The name of your meeting will be up there. You can copy the invitation, which will appear down here, and then forward this invitation to the others. Now, supposing you've made an error, instead of AM, you put PM. You can edit. There's an edit option, and this meeting timing can be changed, or you can change it to and reschedule the meeting. This is the next thing that you will get. You will have a little screen down here where you have the option of your, you will have the option of muting yourself, putting your video camera off, and there are more options. One of the important options is annotate. Okay, when you click here, there's another option called annotate. When you annotate, nobody can write on your screen. Sometimes what happens, you have people just moving their mouse or their cursor, and you will see lines on your screen, or you will feel that somebody is writing on your screen. So you can stop that by saying stop participants annotation. Okay, then you can share screen. Okay. There's another option in Zoom where you can choose a virtual background. So if you click here and go to choose a virtual background, you can choose a background of your choice. They have given you a number of backgrounds like this. If you do not choose a background, you will click on none. Okay, like at present, I haven't selected a background, so I am on none. But if I want, I can change my backgrounds as and when I want. Okay, I will show you the effect of it later on. If you want to add your own background, supposing you want to add a school setup, or you want to show that you are in your school with the name of your school, then you can click a picture and then add it here. So it will be added like this. This is the picture of my school. So you can add it here and this will appear in your background. So you can do that. The next thing that you have is share screen. Okay, so when you're sharing screen, normally the full screen is shared. So you can share your entire or your full screen, and that will be witnessed and seen by the others like I'm doing right now. But you have other options of sharing screen. For example, you can share only a portion of your screen. If you go to the options that you have here, the advanced settings, you can share only a portion of your screen. So you need not share the other things that are there on your desktop. You can share only a portion of your screen. You can add music, computer sounds. You can share your content from a second camera that you have. Okay, so that's how you schedule your Zoom meeting. Now, when you have a content from a second camera, or you want to show any content that has audio and video, for example, if you are sharing YouTube videos, you need children to listen and you also need them to see. For that, a very important thing is down here below, you have share computer sound and optimize screen sharing for video clip. You have to click on these icons. If you do not click on these icons, children will not be able to hear anything. Okay, so you have to share your computer sound if you are sharing any sort of sound. That is what you will do. Once you share, you will come to a page like this, share screen, when you say share screen. And these are the various options that you can keep open beforehand. So which one do you want to share? You can select the one that you want to share. So I've just put some of the things that you can share. You can share your own screen. You can share whiteboard. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can share that. If you have a PowerPoint presentation, you can share the PowerPoint presentation. You have something else in a folder, you can share it from the folder. You have downloaded something, you can share it directly from your downloads. You can create a new folder in which you can put in your important messages or whatever you want, your topics. You have Microsoft Teams, you want to teach them, you can share that. So you can also teach through Microsoft Teams. Okay, you have it in downloads, you can share it from your downloads, or any desktop that you have, you can share with your students. Okay, how to share screen. The first thing is open your PPT, your video, whatever you want on your desktop. Keep it ready on your desktop and you minimize it. Okay, so the second thing is minimize it. Keep it ready before you start teaching. Reminder again, when you want to share sound from your computer, a video or any sound, click on the two small icons on the share screen. Very, very important. Okay, once again, I'm showing you, these are the two small icons that you can see here. You need to click on this. Very often people forget to click and they don't realize that the sound is not heard by the audience. Okay, now you also have a whiteboard option, and we as teachers are very used to writing on the board. Okay, so you can use the whiteboard option. You click on the whiteboard that is available and you share screen. The taskbar has a number of boxes there, okay, tool boxes, and you can use these. You can use the text box, the pen, the blackboard, etc. I've just given you one example here. Like you have the whiteboard. So the whiteboard option, I put in a text message here. You can draw what you want to draw. If you go to insert and draw, you can draw your circles for the maths teachers. You want to have some explanation. You can put in your figures here. This is all available on whiteboard. Just like we do the blackboard, we have a whiteboard, or a whiteboard we use. Okay, so here are the options that you have. So you can select any of the options. You want to write something, you want to put an image, you can put an image, and you can use the whiteboard options that are available here. Now, if you want to share your textbook, very often children may not have a textbook, and maybe you want to read something from a textbook, like from the English point of view. If I want to read something from the textbook, I can share my textbook with the children. Okay, first you download your textbook, keep it ready, then open your desktop screen, minimize it, share the screen. You also have an option in the textbook which says read aloud. So automatically somebody else is reading instead of you. Okay, in the same thing, you can use your highlighter, you can highlight your words, phrases, your sums, questions, etc. How can you use various apps on Zoom? In the share screen, if you have saved, say for example, Diksha app that the government has given us to use, you can use that app directly if you have downloaded and saved that app in your system. Then you can open that app and then click and share whatever you want from that app. You have the option of directly sharing YouTube, so there is no need of downloading the YouTube video and saving it. You can directly share it, but you require Chrome for it. Okay, so put it on Chrome. It's easier with Chrome. Then you can have various gaming apps are available, and they're nice to be introduced to children because children get very bored after some time and they keep listening to someone. So in between, you can have a game. Various Google apps that are there, you can use Google Drive to save your work. You can use Google Classroom. You can use ebooks from anywhere. You can use Google Meet in the same way that you use Zoom. Okay, I will show you how to use Google Meet. Okay, so apps like Google Meet, we are going to learn, what we are going to learn today is Google Meet, Google Forms, and Google Classroom. These are the three most important apps, because in case if Zoom doesn't work, Google Meet is just like Zoom. As you can share screen and you can do various things on Zoom, you can do the same thing on Google Meet. Okay, you can create and schedule your meeting and carry on with your work. Google Forms, very important to create various kinds of forms that are required. Say, for example, now we cannot get children to fill in declaration forms or to fill in application forms. You can create Google Forms and pass it on to the children by email, and they can fill it and send it to you. You can have Google Classroom, in which you can have your different classrooms created so that you can have your students enter into the classroom and you have everything that you have put up or taught in that classroom. Okay, various gaming apps, if you want to use, first you have to create your games using those apps. You save those games and then you create a link and you can pass on the link to your students. For example, if you see I have created a game and I have kept it there, you can see the link that I have created. Okay, you can also use Kahoot, which is a very nice app for gaming. There is Socrative that can be used, which is again a very nice app for gaming. Now, if I save this, I just click on this and it takes me to my gaming. Okay, it will take me to my gaming zone. So all I need to do is I need to click this. It will take me to my gaming zone. So I've created a small little game for little children. Know your maps, and I think you know standard 10 geography has India, Brazil, and the world. So if I click on India, I have to get the matching pair now. So I have to keep in mind which one is where and do it at the fastest. So if I put Brazil and Brazil, this will go blank. Now I have India, India, this will go blank, world and world. So this will go back. It will tell me how many times I turned the cards and the time spent on the game. So it is just something that would encourage children to participate, to attend class if you have games for them, and they would be happy doing this. Okay, so that is something that we should encourage our children to do. Okay. I think now we will go on with Google Forms and then we'll go on to the rest of. Okay, I'll share my screen so you can see. You have to go to Google. In Google, you can type your Google search, Google Forms. Okay, I've already have it here, so I just click on it. Now, first thing you do is you sign into Google Forms. Or if you don't have an account, they will ask you to create an account. Okay, it is free. So you can create your Google account, and these are the options that you will get. You will get a blank form, order form, customer feedback, party invite, job application. There are a number of forms that you can create. Okay, so if you're going to start with, say, a blank form, we'll start right from scratch so that you understand how it is done. So this is what my blank form will look like. Now, there is no name. So the first thing I do is I give my form a name. Supposing I want to name it. Okay. Supposing I'm doing something in a stream called biology. Okay. You can give it another description. Keep the email addresses as important. Then if you want to create a theme, because this doesn't look nice on its own, so you go up here, you can see a small little palette here. You click on this palette, it will ask you, okay, theme options. So you can choose an image from the themes that have been given. There are themes already given here, so you can use whichever one you want from the ones that have been given here. Okay, so if I click this one, now my form appears different. Okay, If I don't want this image, I just click on X. I don't like this image. I want something connected with biology. You can keep photographs, you can keep images, pictures that you want on your desktop. So you can say browse. Now, if I say browse, I've saved some images here. Supposing I want to put in, say, this heart. Okay, you can position it the way you want, where you want to position it, and say done. Once you say done, you will see this image has appeared on your form. Okay, so now the form looks a little better. If you want to do something else, you can put different images. You can change the color options. If you look at this line here, the color options keep changing. So you can change color options as per what you want. You can add more colors from the color box and you can keep changing the options there. Okay, if you want to change the background, you want to keep the background plain white, you can keep it white. You want to change it to various options, color options, you can do that. You can leave it white if you want to leave it white. There is a font style which you can use, but normally try to use the basic font style because it's clear and children will also be able to see and understand this font style. Okay, now you want to go ahead, you've finished with this. We can close this, and now we are moving ahead with our forms. Okay, now you want to create or you want to ask a question. So what is the first thing that we normally do is we type in name. Okay, so name of the student, name of, now this will not be a multiple choice question. There's a small little arrow if you see here, you click on this and you want it to be a short answer because it's the name of the person. So you have clicked and you've got a short answer. Now there are two options. You can keep this as not required or required. You need the name, so put it as required. Okay. Now I want to add another question here. So I click on this and I add another question. Supposing I want to say standard and division. Okay, I put it again as short answer. Standard and division, short answer question again. Okay. Here it will give you this option. Do you want a number? Is it a number? If you don't want this, delete it because sometimes children find it difficult because if they are putting, some may put FIJC, some may put 11, then it will not take that option. Okay, so keep it as that. Then you can add another question. Supposing you want to say, identify the image. Okay, now when I'm saying identify the image, I need to add an image. So if you see the small little option here, there is an option where you can put in a picture. So you can upload. Again, browse wherever you have saved. Supposing I want to put blue. I put in my image. There, it is showing me my image. Okay, now in identify my image, I can make it a short answer. If I say short answer, it will give me just this short answer text that is there. I can change the options. I can say multiple choice. This is the world, this is the globe, whatever. I can type my option, option 1, option 2, and so on. I can give options here. So I can keep adding my options and then the student will select the options. So I have just put this moving image for you because you can put a normal image or you can use a moving image. Now, once that is done, I want to add another question. So I've gone to plus sign. The plus sign will help you add a question. Okay. Now I want to give another question. Maybe I want to make it, there are different options here if you see. You can make it a checker box. You can make it a drop down. You can make it a multiple choice question, whichever you want in that. Now, supposing I want children to attach a file, okay? Supposing I want them to create a PowerPoint, okay? So create a PPT and upload it here. Now, create a PPT and I'm giving multiple choice. So I have to change this, okay? So if the child has to create a PPT and upload, so any assignment you give them, you can see this option of file upload. Click on file upload. It will give you an option that let the respondents upload a file. Say yes, continue. Once you say this, it will tell you that they can upload a file. How many files and the MB of the file. Okay, so you can change this option. 5 files, 10 files, 1 file, depends on what you want. You can change it to 2, 3, whatever you want. Okay, now since I have said PPT, if I click on this option, I open this option here, you will see that there are options given here. So I want a PPT, which is a presentation. So it will accept only presentations on this. If the child has put it in Word, it will not accept. If the child has put it in a PDF format, it will not accept. Okay, so it depends on you. So if you are giving them something to write, like an answer, and they have to upload the document, then you can click the document. So you remove this and you say document. Supposing you have asked them to create an Excel file. Then you say spreadsheet, you want both, you can take the option of both. You want 5 images to be put, 5 options, a drawing and image. You can select all 5 options. If you don't want this, supposing you want them to do only a short video and you want them to upload a video, you've given them an assignment where they have to create a video. They can create this video and they can upload this video. Okay, so this also can happen. Remember, you have to put the required option. Now, supposing you find that you've clicked this, it's ready, but you've made a mistake and you don't want this. All you do is you can see a little option here of the bin, the trash can, click on it. That slide or that question will disappear. Now again, I want to add, I will have to again insert the question. Okay, insert your file here. Now you have not given them any specific file, you have kept it open to them. Insert your file here, I'm doing it again. Click on this arrow, go to file upload. It will show you the option here of file upload. Now, specific type, if you don't want, you are just keeping it as any file, then leave it like this. But if you want a specific file, then you click on these options. If you do not want a specific file, there is no need of using this option. Okay. Now, you can keep adding your questions. You can also add a video. You can put in one question and you can say, watch the video and answer the questions. Okay, so you can start with this first as the option. In the first question, put the video. Now, supposing you think like, okay, first they have to watch the video and then they have to do whatever. So I select this and I move this question up. Okay, so it will come below the name, below the standard and division. So I can leave this here. Watch the video and answer the question. So what you do is you can upload your video, add video here. Okay, you can take a YouTube video, you can take any video, select and upload. You can give them just a URL, copy paste a URL and they will get that URL. Supposing, okay, I'm taking a YouTube. Okay, supposing this is the one that I want. I am copying the URL from here, copy URL. I do not need this to play. I'm going back to my forms and I paste my URL here. Okay, can you see this is the option? So you don't have to put the full video. You can just click and put the URL there. Okay, and say select. It will show you there the video. You can put in whatever title you want, seed or watch video, whatever you want to name it, and then you can go on with it. Okay. So you will have your options here. So you have various options that you can create. Now you want to have a look at how your file will appear to your students. So what you do, you have an eye view here, which is called preview. Click. This is how it will appear to your students. Okay, so this is their option here. Okay, and then submit. Now, there's another option for this. This is how it's going to appear to the students. But now supposing you want to correct this, you have made this a paper, a question paper, and you want to correct this question paper. Okay, now here if you see there was no option given to you. I'll put another question so that you can understand. Okay. My question. Give an option, you give a long answer, and you put a paragraph here. So then the child will answer in a paragraph. Now you have to correct this. And how are you going to correct? What you need to do is you click on this setting option and you will get three options here. One is general, one is presentation, and the third one is quizzes. So if you want to respond to your recipients or the ones who have sent you the thing, you click on that. Otherwise, there is no need of this. You have to limit it to one response because then the child will respond only once. Otherwise, they will keep trying and you will have extra work to do, correct extra papers. Okay. You can change it to presentation mode or you can change it to quizzes. The same thing, I am going to make it into a quiz. Now you can release marks immediately after each submission. You can see the question, that means the respondent can see the missed questions, they can see the correct answers and they can see the point values. Supposing you do not want them to see the correct answers because one child may see the correct answers and pass it on to the others. So you keep this on hold. Okay, and then you come down, come to your settings option. Okay, and say okay, you go to quizzes, make this a quiz, and then you go to your save option, make this, remove this correct answers, and save your file. Now you have another option that is given to you. When you say give this, okay, you have this answer key option. Earlier, we did not have an answer key and marking scheme option. Only when you make it a quiz, you will get your answer key option. Okay, so you click on your answer key, you can write down your answer, whatever you want. You can put in your points, how many marks do you want to give. and say done. So you will have your answer here. In the same way, if you are going to come down to this, you want again this one, identify the image. Okay, click on it. And you will get your answer key option. So I click on the answer key, supposing I want to call it the world. How many points do you want to give it? You want to give it 1 point. Okay, and you say done. Now you can see the answer option has been selected here. And it will show you that this has 1 point. That means 1 mark given to it. Okay, so in that way you can keep going down, adding your options and getting your file done. Now what I can do here is I can see the number of points I've given. So if I want to make my test 10 points or mark it for 25 points, whatever, I can do that. Now once this is done and the student has submitted, you can click on responses and it will tell you how many students have responded. Here you also have an option of clicking here a spreadsheet, and if you say create new spreadsheet, it will create and it will give you an option, a whole Excel file with the name of the student, the email address, which questions they have attempted and so on. Okay, so that is something that is really helpful for teachers. Then you have to send this. Now you have created your questions. You have to send this out to your students. So you click on send. You can type in all the email addresses if you want. But if you don't want to do that, you can just click on the link. You can see the link option here. Click on the link. Now this link is very big, okay? So we can shorten this URL, okay? And copy the URL. Now once you have copied the URL, okay, I can go to my inbox. I say compose. And I click on paste. Okay, this was what I had. I'll send it to myself. Okay, I'm sending it to my own self. And I will say send. If I want a second one, I can send it. So when I send it, if you see here in the first option, I have it here on my email. So I can just copy it from my email and send it to my students on WhatsApp. Okay, so I can do that. So that is the easiest way to use Google Forms. Okay, if I go back, I've copied this, I've saved it, and I go back to the forms. I will just show you one of the forms that I've done. And okay, this is one of the forms that I created. These are the number of children who have responded. Okay, these are my responses. So I get all the responses like this. Now, if I want to see my spreadsheet, I will click this. Okay, I say create. And I will get a spreadsheet like this. You can see the scores here. You can save these scores. My name of the student is here. The scores are here. The standard division, everything is here. What are the questions? Each question and the answer is here. Okay, so I get a whole consolidated list with the responses on an Excel file. The time when the student appeared, what is the time, and everything else is all given here. So you will get all your answers here. Okay, why the student has got it wrong, someone instead of true has put false, so she's got it wrong, and so on. Okay, so these are your answers. So that is one way of looking at it. Now, when you want to correct your questions, like we created one question which is an open question. That question will not be assessed directly. So what I need to do is I go to this question option. When I go to this question option, I come down a little bit, and here I can see question number 1 is name. I don't want that. Division, I don't need to correct. If I need to correct something, then I have to check out here. Okay, so which question do I need to correct? I will open to that question. So I keep, okay. Now, like a question like this is an open question. Which animal would you want to be and why? So now I have to read these answers and I have to correct it. So I can mark this answer as wrong, or I can mark it as right. If I mark it wrong, it is 0 points. If I mark it right, you will get 1 point. Then you can add a feedback to the child, supposing some points are missing, something has not been written. So you say incomplete answer. Okay, so the feedback will go to the child. Okay, so if you have given your add feedback, your feedback will be sent to the child when you say save. Now I don't want to save it because this is a form that I've already sent out to my children. Okay, so like that you can correct, and then you have to go down here. There is a save option. Only once you say save, this whole thing will get saved, and then you will get these marks will also be recorded. So once it is saved, then you can open up the form and send the responses to your students. Now here on this form, if you want to time it, okay, supposing you're giving them half an hour or 1 hour for their test, you can keep it open here as accepting responses for that period of time, say 1 hour, and then after that hour, you can close the form. Once you close the form, the child will get this option. The form is no longer accepting responses. So no responses will be accepted by this form. Okay, so you can do that. So that is the first thing. Okay. We have less time. I hope you followed this, so we can go on to the next option. Okay. Now, when you click on this, you have the option of various Google, apps that can be used. So if I click on Google Meet, you have it here. It will appear on your screen. You say new meeting, start an instant meeting, or you schedule it in Google Calendar. Once it is scheduled in Google Calendar, you put in your title here. You can change your date option, which day you want to have it, 27, 28, whatever time you want to have it, say 10 o'clock. Say we are meeting again at 10 a.m. Okay, so you select your option. Google Meet gives you a class for 1 hour. Okay, unlike Zoom. So once this is done, again you say join with Google Meet. It will start Google Meet. Okay, now we don't want to join in, so I'm going off this. Here you have an option of copying the link. Same way, you can copy the link, go to your Gmail account, paste your link here, and your link will get saved. Okay, at present I'm not doing it because it's not necessary. So that is how you will go with Google Meet. Okay, now you want to create Google Classroom. The same way you go here, you have to add this. Okay, all these apps have to be added onto your desktop. Okay, or Gmail. So if I want to say go to this account, okay, join Google Meet. I will join Google Meet. My camera is off. I'm saying join now. Okay, I open up. I will put on my camera. Now, since I am using Zoom, it is not showing camera option. But the same way you can present, you can click here, you can present your entire screen, you can present a window, or you can present a Chrome tab. So supposing you just want to present, say, your Google Calendar. So you say share, this is what they will be watching. You're showing them this. Okay, so if you don't want, you delete this. So delete this option if it is not required. Now we will go to Google Classroom. You click here. You first have to download this app. Click on Classroom. Okay, it will open Classroom. Now I have so many classrooms, so it is showing me these are my classrooms. Now supposing I want to change the account so that okay, this is Google Classroom. Now, as a teacher, you want to create a classroom. You can see a small little plus sign here. Click on this plus sign and say create class. Maybe now you can see create class. So create the class. Say, okay, I've read instructions. Say continue. It will give you an option. Now, same way, supposing you want to create a class science, okay, you want, supposing section A, subject in science, say you want to make it physics class, okay, so you can give it your options. You can give it room, you can put it as room 2, and you create a class. Now here it showed you that I have one class. Now I'm creating another class. It takes a second and it shows you that we have created another class. It is showing you your class code. So you have to give this class code to your students. You copy this class code and share it with your students. You can also do it via email. Otherwise, just give them this class code. They can go to Google Classroom and put in the class code and say join class. Okay. Now, since I had earlier, if you look at these 3 lines here, click here, you will see how many classes you have. Now, this is my science class. This is my literature class. So whichever class you want to, you can change and go from one class to the other class. Okay, so I can change, I can go to my literature class or I can go to my science class. Now, supposing I've gone to my science class, I want to tell my students something that I've posted, an assignment, kindly complete your assignment and submit by so-and-so date. I will put it in here. Classwork, very important. Click on classwork. It will give you these options in classwork. Don't look at this, just go to create. That's the easiest way. Create. You can create an assignment. You can create quiz assignment. You can put your questions. You can put a material. You can reuse or rename the topic. Now, if I go to quiz assignment, okay, blank quiz is here. I have already created a quiz. If I want, I can attach that quiz. Or I can create a quiz like we did in Google Forms. Okay, the same thing is happening here. If I don't want this, I just want to give them, I don't want to create a quiz, I will delete this option. Now I want to add a link here. A link of the form that I had created earlier. Okay, so supposing I am going to this same thing where I had created biology, I am copying the link address. Now I am going here and it is an add. Okay, so you put link and you put in your link, paste your link. So you say add link. When you add link, the form that was created will appear here. So when the students click this, they will come to this form that we had created and they will be able to answer this form. Okay, I'm doing it once again for you. Okay, first thing you do is, I'm going back again. Google Classroom. Okay, from here, go to Google Classroom. When you come into Classroom, see which class you want to do. You want to create work, go to class work. You'll get these options, say create. You can create an assignment and tell them, okay, whichever classroom, this is physics. Chapter 1, physics chapter 1, okay, give them instructions. Answer the first 2 questions given in the text. Okay, you can give them page number, whatever. Now, you want them to fill in as documents. You can create a document for them. Okay, so they will get this document and they will be filling in this document here. So the document has been created for them. You want to create something else, slide, drawing, forms, whatever, anything can be created. Now you want to assign it to them. Till you say assign, the students will not be able to see this. You can say which class you want it for, science or literature class, you want it for your science class. It's already showing how many points are you going to assign. Supposing you want to give it 20 marks. You assign. You want a due date. Supposing you want it submitted, say, by Monday or Tuesday. You can click. It will show you due date. Okay, you want topic, you can put in your topic, create topic, you can put in your topic. Rubrics is the marks that you will allot to them. And then you have to go to this option and say assign. When you go to this option and say assign, then the children will be able to see something on their screen. Okay, posted an assignment, physics chapter 1. Okay, then the children will be able to see because you have assigned. Now, if I go from, I have also added myself as a student, so it's not showing, but you can add yourself, invite students here by giving them the class code. You can add students there and students will be able to see this. Then when you click on marks, okay, once you have assessed, you will see the marks here. Now, since there is nothing, you cannot see the marks. Otherwise, you would see the marks there. Okay, so this is how you can go about Google Classroom. First thing you do is, there's a small little arrow here which will say join. Students will join the classroom with the class code. Students, you have to join the classroom with the class code. Okay, so give them the class code. They will join the class. Now, which class they have to join, that according to them, they know which class. Science, if you are giving, see the class code here is different. And this class code that is for English literature is different. So they join depending on the class they are in. Okay, so that is how you can do Google Forms. Okay. A little way of recording a video. You have something that is called Screencastify. You click on, you have to download the app Screencastify. Once you have downloaded the app, it will ask you, it will give you these options, it will ask you these options. Which one do you want to select? Okay, the browser tab, the desktop, or the web camera only. So supposing you say web camera only and you say record. For me, it will be a problem because I'm already using the web camera on Zoom. So you won't be able to see me, okay? But if I'm using the desktop option, and I say record. What do I want? An application window, then it will record only the application window. And then I say share. It'll give me 3 seconds. Now it is recording my video. Okay, once I finish recording, I either pause it or I stop it. I can either pause it or stop the video recording. Then it will show me that I have recorded the video. Recording my video. Once I finish recording, I either pause it or stop it. Pause it. Okay, now this option is good because if you don't want something, you can directly go to this and you can edit. You don't want this part of it. You open an editor and delete that portion from it. Okay, so that is one way of recording. Okay, it can be done directly here because it will give you the option here of cutting it. So you can cut. You can share the link directly from here. You can publish to YouTube. You can share it to your classroom. So if you put only camera on, you can directly share it with your students. Okay. So that can be done. So this is how you can work with it. Okay. Another way of sharing it is, I will show you another option that is there of sharing the training. Okay, here I have recorded a small little video. With your mobile. Here you can see a very simple setup. All you need is a page. You will have a number of books at home. And you have a mobile, a scale, and a band to tie or attach the mobile with so that it doesn't fall. And using this, you can record what you are writing. Okay, so your mobile is now recording what you are writing. So you can directly record, okay, and then when you finish, you can stop recording. So this is one of the simplest way that you can record. There's another way that you can use to record. This is what I've done on Screencastify. A major part of Brazil lies in the south, and a little bit of it lies in the northern hemisphere. So that is why, and also since we are running out of time, because you can see the pipe in the western hemisphere. Since in 1822, it was under the populist military government from 1930 to market in. So this one I have done through A power recording can also be used. Yes. This one was done with Screencastify. Now you can also do it with A power recording. Okay, so But only with A-POWER recording, the problem is that when you go to A-POWER recording, you have the icon, their own icon that appears on the screen. Okay, so then it's really not good. Now, when I'm sharing screen, I can do different things like, okay, I can share my slideshow. I can share, I was telling you, you can share the textbook. So you can share the textbook like this. I've downloaded the PDF format of the textbook and I am making use of this, and I can use the textbook directly to share. Sometimes children may not have certain things, so you can share the textbook directly. Okay, I think we are running short of time, so I'm really hurrying with this. But these are some of the ways, some of the options that you can use to share screen and record screen. Okay, so you can do screen recording also on your mobile, directly screen recording on mobile. Okay, so you don't have to, you know, worry about anything. It just happens very easily. I'll go to my drive and I'll show you the other parts that I've done, the recording. Sir, can you hear me? I cannot see the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm just sharing another small little video with you so that you can see how it is done.
Okay, ma'am. Proceed. This is the previous video I showed you. So you can just write whatever you want, focus your camera nicely. I did this just now in the morning just to show you. So it looks a little blur, but that's the way you can work. So you write whatever you want to draw, you want to have your math sums done. Just use a blank paper and then write whatever you want on it. So it will work in that manner. Okay, so I'm doing something with clauses, so I have put in that, and clauses. So you can put in your voice. Is first pick out your subordinator. He is the boy. You can just go about like that. She did not attend the clause. Okay, so I'm just showing you this because, and I'm going quickly because we have noun clause. Okay, so I'm recording my paper. Adjective clause. Just use a mobile camera, mobile phone, use the mobile camera and record. And in this way, you can teach your children and also upload these recordings to them. So if you want to do something and you want to send it to them, it can be done in this format. Okay, I think so. With that, I've done, I think maximum in a very short time, because each thing that we do takes a lot of time. But I try to cram everything up together. We can go to questions. Any questions? Yes,
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, Surekha, tell me.
I just want to ask you, suppose I am taking online class through Zoom and students don't have textbooks with them. I have to share textbooks with them. How
Yes.
can we?
Same way, go to share screen. You have to keep your textbook open first. Go to share
Okay.
screen.
Okay.
Open your textbook there on your desktop and share
Okay.
the screen so they can see your textbook.
Okay. Okay. Or if we make PDF and that PDF, if we share, that will also be okay.
Yes, you can download the e-textbook now. That's what I did just now. I have
Okay.
e-textbook and then I share the e-textbook with them. So instead of each one looking down and looking at their own textbook, because now we have shifted from classroom to online.
Yeah.
It is better they look at the screen and read rather than looking at their textbook.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, welcome. Anyone else?
Hello, madam. Hello.
Yes, Dinesh sir.
Yeah, madam. Is this technique is better than the class teaching, madam? Live class teaching. Which one is according to your view?
I did not get you, so I cannot hear you clearly.
Yeah, madam. My question is that, madam, is this technique is option for the class teaching, original class teaching, which is better according to you?
Original class teaching.
This online.
Yes, you can use Zoom, you can use Microsoft Teams, or you can use Google Meet. I am using Google Meet.
Yeah.
So it's easier. Only you have to download 2 or 3 softwares where you can say, for example, you have Meet attendance. If you download Meet attendance, you can take students' attendance directly on Google Meet. So you know who's there and who's not there. And if you just click one option, you can take attendance twice or thrice in the class. Because what happens, sometimes children attend class, then in 5-10 minutes, they disappear from the class. So
Yeah.
you can take attendance at the beginning of the class, in between the class, and at the end of the class. So you know who's there and who has gone away.
Yeah.
So that's what.
Hello.
Yes.
This question from Vishal Nikam. Can we add link in Google Form and make compulsory to click?
Yes. You can add a link.
Okay. One more question.
Yes.
Can we add a payment gateway in Google Form? If yes, is it safe?
Can we add
A payment gateway in Google Form?
Yes.
If yes, it is safe.
Sir, everything is unsafe today, because even if you do an online payment for anything, your account can be hacked. Okay. So the hackers will do what they have to do. We have to try to be safe.
Yeah. Then one more question.
Yes. Sir, are you asking the question from Thakur sir?
Yes.
Yes. Ma'am, I have a question from the participant, Professor Thakur sir. His question is, how much time can online class or Google class archive in the future?
How much time
can online class or Google class archive in the future?
Okay. It depends on you how long you want to take. So it's normally better to do a 40-minute class rather than, extend it still further. Because children do get bored after some time. And if you are doing an activity with them, then you can extend it to maybe 1 hour. I have this method of doing one activity with them every day. So I find out different activities that they can do. So you must have seen the tongue twister that I had, or I have Kahoot that I use constantly. In fact, I planned something for all of you today with Kahoot, but I can't do it because of lack of time.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Next question from Usha Bandare.
Yes,
how to insert moving image in the PPT? Please explain screen recording.
Yes, you see, PPT is altogether a different way of doing it. And you can have a moving image in PPT also, but you have to create that PPT in that particular way. Once you create the PPT in that particular way, then you will be able to use it. So you have to learn the technique of creating PPTs. If you want, we can have another session for that.
Okay.
Ma'am, animated images can be used.
Yes,
for that purpose?
animated images can be used. Just now
Or
I used the
GIF
word.
images.
Yes, the image of the globe I have used, that is an animated GIF. You can use both.
Ma'am, my question is that what is the exact time period for recording Screencastify?
Screencastify, initially they give you 5 minutes, but then they add it, once you start using it, they will give you an option, because now, because of teachers, most of these apps are, adding to the time that a teacher can record. And so even if you do it for say 5 minutes, you can attach 2 or 3 videos together with another app.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
One more question, ma'am. Myself, Surekha. When we are giving multiple choice questions and short answer questions in one form, one Google form, so what kind of form it will be? General, presentation? Certainly, it will not be a quiz, but general or presentation.
You keep it to a quiz, because then you can give answers and you don't have to correct all the answers.
In case of short?
Yes. Short answers you will have to correct. If you are 100% sure of the answer and the child is going to write in the same way, only then you can give it as a quiz. But if it is a short answer question or a long answer, keep it as general.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
But what you can do is, for everyday, like daily use, when we have a class, say once you finish one chapter, just have an MCQ for them. So you prepare a multiple choice question, and there they get answer. You just create a 10 marks. You put your multiple choice answers. They will get answers on their own. So they also feel happy and they'll learn their work. So
okay. Yes, yes, that we are doing already. I just asked you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Any questions? Nobody else for questions? Okay, is there anything else you want to know? Right? You can also record your PowerPoint presentations. Here, I'll show you one where I have recorded the PowerPoint presentation and the teaching PowerPoint. Since we have no questions, I will just...
Yes, ma'am. Hello. There is a question from Dr. Pankaj Gogari, sir. How to make attendance? His question is.
Can be put on Google Forms. What we do is we send out a Google form, like you are in the class, you create your forms that is there, and in that 5 minutes it takes, you send out the link to them, and in 5 minutes they will fill in their attendance and you close the form. So each teacher can have a form and then you close the form. So when the children are there in your class, within those 5 minutes, they have to give in their attendance. So you can do it in between class, you can do it after class, before class, whatever.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? I will just show you one point, I think. Okay, this is what one of you asked me, how you can create a PowerPoint with moving images. So you can just have 3D PowerPoint created. So this is like a 3D PowerPoint that I've created. Okay, so I just wanted to give my students story writing. So I gave them something like this. So you can create, get images, and let them imagine. So you can use different kinds of images and create your PowerPoint. Okay. So this is just for story writing. So I created this, the same PowerPoint. You can record the PowerPoint that you have done. Okay, I'm sharing my, the screen sharing has stopped. I'm sharing the new screen with you. Okay, this is a video, the same PowerPoint, you can record the video, the PowerPoint video. So this is the recorded version of it. So you can record it and put it up for your students. And you can speak while doing it. Okay, so you can record, you have lots of options that you can use and that you can record. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Yeah, ma'am. One more question.
Yes, sir.
Rajput, how to set time limit to Google Form registration?
Google Form registration, so there is an option given there where you can set your time limit. So if you, when you finish with the Google Form that you have given the children or whoever you have given it to, all you need to do is you need to close the form, not accepting responses. So you go to not accepting responses and you do that. And if you want to do it in Google Classroom, then in Google Classroom, you have an option of a time limit, a day or a time, and you can accordingly get it done.
Ingoti sir, anyone from chat box?
Over. Questions is over.
Question and answer session is over.
Any questions? No, I think I can only see in the chat box how to mark attendance.
Someone is asking, someone, not Ashfaq Malik is asking, can we get PPT of this program?
PPT. Yes, but I don't think it's going to help because the recording is there, right?
Okay.
What will we do, ma'am? We will share this recording with the participants later on.
Or you can we will share the link of this video when we upload this video on YouTube, college YouTube channel.
Yes, then you can share the link. And if anyone has any questions, any doubts while you are working, if you need some help, you can always call up. So you can share my number with them. Those who want, you can call up whenever. There are lots of other techniques you can make lovely games.
Chat box.
Yes. So you can make a number of games and you can play a game. If we have time, we could just play Kahoot right now also.
Okay.
If you are ready, then just go to Kahoot.
Hello, ma'am. I'm sharing some replies of participants.
Yes.
Or feedback. Thank you, ma'am. You have covered a lot related to session. Very nice session, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am. Very informative session. Very nice session. Thanks, ma'am.
Welcome.
Like this,
I hope it was useful.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, there is a question from Usha Bandare. Is camera required in Google Meet?
Is camera required in Google Meet? It depends on you. See, since it is online teaching, it is nice if you show your face to your students. Others, it's, like them just watching a blank screen. So, according to me, facing your students is better because that's what we've always been doing.
Yeah.
So, and they know you. So why not? And if you want, you can put a background, you know, for yourself. So
Yes.
if you have gone to Kahoot, we can play a small game. So you can create these kind of games for your students. I'm sharing screen. And there's a number that will appear here. Put in this number. Type Kahoot, say join with game pin 572945. All of you join in, it's very simple.
The name of application Kahoot it, ma'am.
It's Kahoot. I put it on screen, sir. K-A-H-O-O-T. Kahoot.
Okay, ma'am.
And join with the game pin. It's very simple, just 5 simple questions. Join with game pin. Kahoot, join with game pin. 572945. 572945. And say join because I can't see any players here.
Wait, ma'am.
One can do it individually on their mobile or laptop, whatever. Yeah, I have one player who has joined in. Come on, all the others. सर ने मुझे कहा था, पेडनेकर सर ने कहा था कि हिंदी में बात करो, लेकिन मेरी हिंदी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, इसीलिए मैंने हिंदी में बात नहीं किया. मुझे थोड़ी हिंदी और थोड़ी मराठी भी आती है, बट ऐसा नहीं.
Ma'am, your English language is very understandable.
Yes, and it's simple. So I feel that when we stay with people, we have to learn all languages.
Yeah.
मी महाराष्ट्रामध्ये राहते म्हणून मला पण मराठी येते. मी मराठी बोलते ज्यांच्याकडे बोलायचं आहे. आणि कधी कधी काय होते, जे शब्द बोलायचं आहे ते आठवण नाही होते.
बरोबर आहे.
We also have parents who are, you know, Marathi speaking and all, and then we have to communicate with them in the language.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm unable to join Kahoot because of network issue.
Okay. So I have 5 players. Anyone else checking in? If you cannot, it's okay. I will start the game.
Ma'am, YouTube members will join slowly because live streaming is delayed.
Okay, sir.
With the 1 minute time.
Okay. Yes, Brijlal Patel is here.
You'll find a lot of participants after some time.
These apps are easy to use, so you can learn to use these apps. Kahoot, Socrative, there is Animus, which is very good for science teachers.
Animes.
App, yes, Animes is an app where you can create small videos using various images.
I think participants
Okay, so I will start the game.
unable to join. You can start now.
Click on the right answer. You have to click on the correct option. Question? Okay, there were just 5 questions there, but I think only 2 or 3 people have answered. Its correct answer. He's got 4 out of 5. Second is Chetna, and third is Zafar. So like that, you can encourage children to participate in these. You can create various quiz options and people can participate. Someone has said, do we need to simultaneously do the Kahoot and Zoom? Anyone else, you want to talk in Hindi, you can talk in Hindi, no problem. Any questions? You want to talk in Marathi, you can talk in Marathi. If I can understand, I will answer. No questions, then I think you all have understood.
There is one question, madam.
Yes.
From Chetna Patel, madam, Dr. Chetna Patel, madam. That question is, do we need to simultaneously do the Kahoot and Zoom?
No, you will have to minimize Zoom. You can keep both options open. Use a different window for Kahoot.
Yeah.
You have a plus option, you use the other window. And if you're using a mobile, you minimize Zoom and then go to Kahoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And
Okay,
thank you to all the dignitaries, your especially your principal, Hemant Pednekar sir. He has been in contact with me for many years, and he's been very helpful. I always say, if we have the desire, we can do something. Okay, so he is my inspiration to learn geography, and that is how I'm doing geography even now. I am actually English history teacher, but I was forced to teach geography because there were no geography teachers. And through Hemant Pednekar sir, I learned a lot in geography, and it inspired me to do something in geography. So I'm really grateful to him for that. And thank you to all of you, all the participants, for being here. And I hope this session has been really helpful to you and you utilize it. Please make use of the various apps. Today with Google, you can research and you can find many more apps. Okay, and if there's anything and any way I can help you, I'd be very happy to help you. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
So
you.
yes, sir. So yes, sir.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Thank you, madam. Hello. Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to all of you. First of all, good afternoon, all of you. I express my sincere thanks towards respected Professor Dona madam, Maria madam, behalf of this institute and college. I extend my thanks to to the president of our institute, Sri Vijay Patil Sahib, and also thank you Principal Sir Dr. H.M. Pednekar sir. I thank to our Secretary Dr. Siva Patil ma'am. I thank all the participants for your response technical team they have given. I am thankful to all teaching, non-teaching staff who are supporting for these events. Thank you all again for making these programs to grand success. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, Namdev sir. Thank you for coordinating.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, we are at the end of the program.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, all participants.
Hello.
Yes,
Namdev
sir.
sir.
Any questions?
Certificateच्या बाबतीत पार्टिसिपंट सांगा.
सर्टिफिकेट लिमिट इज 100. दिवसाला 100 सर्टिफिकेट जाऊ शकतात. आपल्याकडे 350 पार्टिसिपेंट्स आहेत, तर 3 दिवसात किंवा आजपासून 3 दिवसात प्रत्येकाला सर्टिफिकेट मिळून जाईल. सो एव्हरीवन विल गेट सर्टिफिकेट विदिन 3 days or maybe 1 day extra. So don't worry about certificate. Feedback link will be shared after end of meeting. Thank you. Ingole sir.
Hello.
Ingole sir, please pause the recording.
Okay. Yes.
And save it. Don't close your Zoom app. Firstly save and then close it.